Welcome to Drummer's Paradise, a place for drummers to connect and get to know each other what drives their passion for groove. Feel free to hit that subscribe button, the like button, and turn on that notification bell. It really does mean a lot. Now, let's get into this.
Today, joining us, we have a true musical savant from Caracas, Venezuela. Please welcome Alejandro Serritielo. You might recognize this man from playing drums in MakeWar, The Creepshow, or from working at Drumeo. We are stoked to sit down with Ali and get to know what drives his passion for groove. But first, let's check out this video of Ali playing the kit.
Wow, T, that was killer.
That was wicked, eh?
Ali, that's amazing.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Stellar,
you're a
man.
wicked
That
drummer.
was sick.
Now, let's get into this.
Let's start off by having you tell us where you originally from, man, and where did your drumming journey all begin for you?
First of all, thanks for having me, guys. This is awesome.
No
I watched a
problem.
few of the episodes, and so glad that the podcast is doing so well. And
Nice.
Thanks.
yeah, but anyway, so I was born in Caracas, Venezuela, which is the northest country in South America. And I don't know, from about the age of 10, that's sort of like where it all began for me, I guess. It was a mixture of things. I feel that some of my influences came from like my mom and dad that were always huge with music and stuff, and my two of my cousins that started sort of like learning how to play the guitar, how to play the bass, and they were sort of like the first people that got me into like listening to, music and bands and stuff. And back in the day when I was little, would have been like 8 or 9, I used to have like a little tiny single drum thing that my mom and dad got me when I was little. And I don't know, I always used to hit it with like broomsticks or whatever I had around. And I don't know, I guess that's where everything began for me.
So what were the influences that got you into playing drums and that, pushed you through?
Well, the first sort of like thing that really ingrained in my brain, so to say, and it was sort of like the first influences, would have been bands like Metallica, for instance. That would have been typical, but of course, who else to teach you the the ways of the rock and roll than Metallica? And slowly, Metallica, Kiss, Black Sabbath, those type of things, and then through my cousins, two of my cousins, Anthony and Richard, they started introducing me to punk rock, and that's where that's it for me.
Took off from there.
Yeah. As soon as I heard my first punk song, I don't even remember what was the first punk song that I ever heard, but that was it.
Yeah,
I was hooked.
That energy,
I was
that
home.
power, right?
Yeah. And that was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
That's so cool.
So tell us about your gear and your current gear situation. What kind of kit you got? Hardware, cymbals, if you have a stick endorsement, anything like that. What do you play, man?
So for sticks, I play Los Cabos. I am part of the Los Cabos roster. Shout out to Phil because he rules. But yeah, I play with 5B, a 5B model, but they're called Intense 5B.
Okay.
So this is like a different model of Los Cabos, which is basically just has like an extra, I don't know how long it is, but extra little bit of length. Right, so the stick is not like the standard, but it's a tiny, tiny little bit longer.
Okay.
I've always found that really helps me control the rebound some more, and that allows me to hold the stick even a little bit higher and just get those fingers really, really
Good
dialed
leverage.
in. Yeah, so that's for sticks. I am part of the Sabian roster as well. So for Sabian. Right now, I'm changing my setup a little bit. I just added an extra cymbal to it. But normally, I would play with my hi-hats. I'm playing with the HHX Evolutions. I think
they're fun. I like those.
Yeah, the Dave Weckl models I got right now.
Nice.
And they're beautiful. They're so crisp. I love that the tone is not that sharp, that high, but it's still like really nice and high, but it doesn't like cut through everything. I love those cymbals for that. Then for crashes, I'm playing double A axis.
Okay.
I like big cymbals. So my left above the hi-hat, I got a 19. I got a 21 crash on my right side, and then I have an HHX Groove Riot 22.
Oh, nice.
And I just got into an HHX Omni, which are the ones with the big holes on them, because I've never been a fan of Chinas, like China cymbals.
Okay.
But lately I'm sort of like, I was missing that type of sound, but I didn't want a China cymbal. So I went kind of like right in the middle, and I got myself one of those HHX Aero ones, and they're cool. They're so nice.
I literally just went through the same experience.
Really?
We were funny enough, we were talking about it prior to the show.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
And for kids, I'm part of the Mapex roster as well. That's pretty new. So that's only happened a few weeks ago. So I'm super excited to join such a great team of drummers. And and I'm playing a Saturn Evolution 4-piece. It's a hybrid, which is I'm super stoked about. The kick drum is a birch walnut hybrid.
Nice.
And birch, my bad, sorry, walnut maple hybrid.
Walnut
and then
maple.
the toms are birch maple hybrid. So they're sort of like different, and the kick weighs a ton.
So
because
different
of-
plies are a different wood? Is that how that
Yes,
works? Yeah, okay.
exactly. So it's really, really nice. And I got like a dark gray matte finish type thing, and it's beautiful kit. So that's sort of like what I'm playing right now.
Right,
Nice.
wow.
And what kind of snare are you running?
So right now I'm waiting for my new Mapex to arrive, which is going to be a Persuader, which is a brass shell. It's part of the Black Panther series, and it's 14 by 6.5.
Okay, nice, deep.
Yeah, I love big snares.
Yeah.
And the other one that I got at home, which it's been my baby and my go-to for the past 5 years. It's a DW Collector Series. It's a black nickel over steel, I think it is.
Right.
And that thing's a shotgun.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. I love that
Steel
snares.
drums,
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
always big fan of steel
Metal,
snares.
Yeah.
That's,
they
my
go-
go-to.
Always have a good crack to them.
Oh, yeah. Always. And I always love putting on an Emperor X.
Emperor X.
That's a top skin. Always. That's my go-to
Okay.
combo.
Yeah. Nice. Even on the toms, what do you put on the toms?
The toms, normally ambassadors.
Ambassadors?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
cool.
my thing. And then for the kick, I'm a big fan of P3s, power stroke trees.
Power stroke
Great
threes.
drum head.
Yeah.
Are you self-taught? Maybe did you take lessons?
I did take lessons.
Yeah.
I took lessons for quite a few years with 2 different drum teachers. The first one, which is the one that I was with the longer, it was a guy called Hernan Gomez from Caracas, Venezuela. Okay. He was sort of like the very first drum teacher that I had. And then after a few years, I ended up going to the person that taught him drums, which is a guy called Jose Matos from Caracas, Venezuela. He died unfortunately a few years ago, but legendary drummer from sort of like the Venezuela scene.
We'll have to look him up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
Jose-
check out-
Jose
check out
Matos.
some of his footage. for
Yeah,
sure.
so I went to him afterwards, and I've always said a little bit of the story of, you guys ever seen obviously Whiplash?
Oh,
Yeah.
So whenever I tell about Matos, I tell the story of, Whiplash when they throw the chair at the kid for like not playing the tempo. So in my experience with Matos, it wasn't nothing like that dramatic,
dramatic,
or
yeah.
that drastic, but it had a little bit of violence to it, which is funny. So do you guys know whenever you're learning how to play the drums, you're holding a drumstick, and sometimes your pinky pops up, right? That's normal, happens to everybody.
Yeah.
Whenever my pinky will pop up, Matos will grab a drumstick and just freaking whack it.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And
Ouch.
I learned,
Really quickly.
very quickly, I learned not to poke my pinky out. But I thank him for everything.
Yeah, I thank him for everything. Good influence.
Yeah.
That's
funny.
amazing. So, Ali, with so much information out there on the internet today, where would you recommend a young, inspiring drummer to go to build their foundation?
Oh, man, I can think of a place or two.
I'm sure you can. I'm sure.
Yeah, so obviously the best place where anyone can go is this beautiful Canadian company called Drumeo. Drumeo is part of of a company called Musora Media, and Drumeo is one of the brands of Musora, which I'm lucky to work for. That's my full-time job is work for Drumeo, and by far this is the best job I've ever had.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I love what I do. I show up to work every day with a smile, and just because of the fact that I'm going to talk to people about drums and about drumming and about how to get them to become better drummers.
Yeah,
You're around it every day, all day.
That's what I do every day, and I love it so much.
That's fun. That's fun. What do you say are some of the key elements that people should kind of hone in on when developing a solid foundation?
Patience. Patience, just because the drums is not something that just happens overnight. Like Rome wasn't built in a day.
That's right.
And so one of the aspects of my role in Drumeo is I have to do reviews for like people learning how to play the drums. So I had to film myself and send them a video showing them or demonstrating how to do what they're doing or what they're doing wrong, et cetera, et cetera. So one of the things that I always tell people when I do these videos that comes back to what we just asked is when it comes to playing the drums, the way that I've always described it to people is the difference between learning an instrument like the drums or the guitar and the bass is that when you're learning the guitar and the bass, the basics or the foundations, it's easy. That's the easiest part, right? Learn your different G chord and F chord and this and that. That's easy. The better you want to get, the harder it gets, right? With the drums, is the complete opposite. Like if you think about it, with the drums, the hardest part about it is those very first steps of coordination, independence, timing. Once you're able to separate your brain in 4 parts where each one of your limbs can work independently, you can go as far as you want. You
can just run with it. Yes.
You can go as far as you want. Yeah. Sky's the limit. If
true.
There's a dedication behind it. And that's what I always tell people about learning the drums.
Yeah, I always bring it in and say it's a journey. If you're passionate about it, it's a lifelong commitment, right?
100%.
And you just study it throughout your life and have the passion for it.
Right.
Yeah.
You never give it up. You know,
Never,
just keep pushing
never give it
through,
up.
and that's it.
And it's a beautiful journey, you know. How cool it is to be a drummer, you know?
It is.
It's one of the coolest things you can do.
And you meet some cool guys.
Yeah, you meet some cool people.
And just feeling in, like when you're jamming with bands and stuff, just locking in, and they're following you, and you're running that whole,
Yeah, it's like
that heartbeat.
It's like you're in the driver's seat, right?
Yeah.
It's so that's a way that I've always described it too. Like you're in the driver's seat and you decide where this thing's going.
Yeah,
right.
pretty much, yeah.
So
it's a fun feeling, eh?
Yeah,
for sure.
Sure. So fill us in when you started playing shows and how quickly that progressed into bigger shows and potentially some outdoor festivals.
Okay, so when I started playing shows, that would have been, I was in my teen years in Caracas, and it was sort of like with my high school band, right? So we weren't really playing clubs just because we were underage. Not that that means anything in Venezuela, because you can drink from like you're 11 years old. But we started playing sort of like my very first show, the very first show I ever played. It was, this is so silly, but it's so funny now. With my cousins, they wanted to celebrate one of their birthdays, and they wanted to throw like a little birthday at my grandmother's house. Okay. So their band, and then the band that I had in school, we were like, okay, we're gonna do a show. So we played in our grandma's sort of like parking lot in her house. We set up like the drums and a couple of little amps and stuff, and our families came, and that was her first show. I was, can we swear?
Yeah, you can swear.
Okay, I was shitting myself.
Yeah, I bet you.
I was so scared, even though that I was just playing in front of like my mom, my dad, and my aunts and uncles. I was shitting myself. It was so
that's
scary.
one badass grandma. Right?
Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
that is.
so scary.
Right.
But anyway, so I don't know. After that band, another couple bands came, and that's when things started happening. Started getting to know people from like the local scene in Caracas, Venezuela. Started playing typical dive shows, dive bar shows in Caracas and stuff, and it was fun with the bands that I was playing. People liked our music. People used to like mosh to it or like circle pit to it, and then I think it was the year 2005 or 2006 that actually before that I did play some international shows, but around the year 2005 2006 I was playing with this band from with my friends called Take Control, and it was a local Caracas band, and we were offered to go and tour with Combat Kid like out of nowhere
Nice.
in South America. So we ended up going to like Peru and Ecuador and Colombia with them. And that was sort of like the first sort of like exposure to this is what this is going to be like. And I remember going to see Combat Kid playing in Colombia. Obviously, Combat Kid is one of my favorite bands in the world.
That's
incredible.
Yeah, great band.
Dude, they were playing this show in Bogota, Colombia. This place was kind of like a warehouse, which has like scaffolders on the sides for people, right? It was like up to 3 levels of scaffold. I shit you not, from the 3rd level, there was like people flying down. And I was just like, this is what I want to do.
Out of control.
Yeah, out of control.
That's amazing.
And ended up afterwards playing shows in Caracas, Venezuela. Eventually, I moved to Australia, where I lived for quite a few years and, kept playing. I found a local band from Melbourne called The Resignators that I joined. It was kind of like ska punk music. Oh, cool. And started playing shows with them, and we did a tour here in Canada, which was the first time that I ever came to Canada. At the time, 2015, that would have been, 2016. Did a run with them. Went back to Australia and stuff, and a couple years later, I joined the Creepshow.
Oh, nice.
And that's when I started playing in sort of like, bigger sort of like shows and big festivals, European festivals, like the Wave Gothic in Leipzig, Hellfest, some other cool festivals and stuff.
Wow.
And that's sort of like how it's developed for me.
Cool. Yeah. That's neat. Do you have any fun tour stories you could tell us?
Oh, there's so many fun.
No, it can go way back. It can come from like recently. It's up to you.
Ooh.
What you share with us today.
Okay, but what kind of story do we want?
Anything that's, you feel you can share with us.
Yeah, whatever you're comfortable with.
Oh, there's so many though. There's so many. I can like pinpoint like one specific. Last year, being with MakeWar, we were in our summer European tour. Last show of the tour, I think we were talking about this before. Last show of the tour, we're playing Extreme Fest in the south of France. And our stage, in our spot, it was MakeWar. Then it was Zebrahead and then the Descendants. And then it was kind of like, it was pretty cool because it was like, the last night of the tour's over, we finish playing, we go have some showers, get changed, have some food, we come back, the Descendants are just setting up, and we're just sitting right next to Bill Stevenson and the Descendants guys, just watching them playing. We're like, this is so fucking cool.
Oh yeah, that would
just
be
like
amazing.
having a beer, just watching this, and just watching old kids just go crazy in the crowd.
That's awesome.
Was like, this is so dope.
Yeah.
And we just like cheer and just enjoy the show.
The surreal feeling, the moment. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
I love those kind of like little moments.
Yeah, you hang on to those, right?
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Absolutely.
That's awesome. So what kind of tips can you give some young, inspiring drummers when it comes to playing live shows?
When it comes to playing live shows, work on your cardio.
Cardio,
Work on your cardio. There's nothing to be afraid, because I know that for us drummers, especially when we're starting and we're gonna play a show, it's terrifying. It's very scary, just because we don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know if we're gonna drop a stick. We don't know if something's gonna break. We don't know if a cymbal's just gonna fall off, and we're gonna just be the laugh of everybody. Just trust your ability and be sure of what you're doing and practice.
Yeah,
Practice.
That's true. Yeah. Always comes down to practice.
It always comes down to practice.
It really, really does. Can't push it home hard enough, right?
I know.
The more time you put into it,
yeah, the better you get.
The better you get.
100%. Yeah. So, yeah. How did you become a working drummer, and how did that take place?
So my jump from more into like, I guess, the amateur sort of like ways into more of like a touring musician happened more like drastically, I guess, professionally when I joined the Creepshow. So the way that it happened, I lived in Melbourne, Australia for quite some time, and I was playing with a band called The Resignators. Beautiful. And then we had that a Canadian run. So the first night of the tour, we played at the Bovine in Toronto, legendary Bovine Sex Club.
Yeah, it's a great place.
I know we all play there at least a couple of times.
I have, yeah, absolutely.
So at the end of the show, the lead singer, Francis, pulled me aside. I was like, hey, man, there's someone that wants to meet you at the back. And he was Sean McNabb from the Creepshow.
Yeah.
And that's sort of like how that relationship started. A couple of years later, the Creepshow was down under touring Australia, and we were doing the support. And I don't know, when I was in Canada, during the tour, Sean already asked, like, "Hey man, would you ever move to Canada?" And I was like, "Not in a million years. This is way too cold for me."
Yeah, I don't want to see that snow.
That's
No.
too cold.
But anyway, during the Australian tour, they just asked me if this is something that I would be interested in, and it was a no-brainer for me. You know that sometimes it happens to everybody in life. We have those like moments where you have to like make a decision that's going to change your life. You know, we don't know exactly when those moments are going to happen, but for me, it was that moment. It was for these guys being like, "Hey man, do you want to join us?" Right? Because obviously, I know that the band's not like Metallica or anything, right? But this is what I wanted to do since I was very little. I always wanted to be a touring musician, a touring drummer, play drums in front of people. That's what I wanted to do.
Right.
And this opportunity came. So
Coming together.
yeah. So at the time, I had a really cool job. I work in hotels, like managing hotels, et cetera, et cetera. I was doing really well.
Nice.
I was sorted. I was settled. And I just dropped everything.
Ooh. But you have to. Yeah.
I dropped absolutely everything. I dropped my work. I dropped my life in Melbourne. I jumped on a flight, came here, and let's go.
The rest is history.
Yep.
The rest is history, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's how it all started for me professionally.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. So what would you say some of the key ingredients are for people in today to become a drummer in today's current market?
In today's current market, be able to play in the pocket.
Yes.
I'll say that's a big one, especially for people that are playing sort of like mainstream gigs. If you're playing like pop music, if you don't have a pocket, you can't play, you know. Be very dynamic in terms of the different styles that you can play.
Yeah.
Be approachable, meaning don't be a dick, because a lot of musicians can be dicks, unfortunately.
It's true.
And just have your goal, you know, don't give up. A lot of people are always going to tell you like, no, we got someone better, or this one's going to do it better, or just don't give up. Don't take no for an answer.
Yeah. Keep
That's
pushing.
Oh, yeah.
Persistence.
Yes.
Right.
100%.
Yeah. That makes sense.
That's it.
You know what time it is, AT?
Well, it's the Paradiddle Challenge time.
All right. Let's get over to this and see how well Ali does on this.
Let's go.
Let's do it. We're going to start you at 100, and we'll move up in increments of 20, if that's okay, at quarter notes.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good. You guys want any specific part of the pad, or does it
No,
matter?
you can pick whatever feels
Okay.
good. Locked in, nice and
Okay,
clean.
he's got that. Ali's got that one. I'm going to go to 120.
Clean again.
140. He's locked in. 160. Yeah. We'll go to 180.
180.
Ooh, I don't know if I want 180.
Let's see what he's got here.
Ooh, no.
You want to try 170?
170.
Yeah,
Let's try
170.
170. Let's warm up to the next one.
Yes, yes. Okay, he's got 170.
Yeah.
Ooh.
175.
Ooh. Ooh, no. Things
170 is
might be the one.
comfortable. Yes.
170,
All
yeah.
right. Good job, though, man.
Good
That's
job, guys.
awesome.
Good job, Ali.
Good job.
So, in your opinion, what would you say 3 rudiments are that are the most important to have locked in?
Double strokes, paradiddles, and double paradiddle. Those will be the 3.
Nice. I like it. And the reason for the double paradiddle, fill us in.
It works really well in like 6/8 type music.
Okay,
I
yeah.
find, and it's very, very important to be able, you know, when you're doing your traditional paradiddle at a time, to be able to do the paradiddle on that time too. It just sounds so cool to me when you're doing the.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know that. That phrase sounds so nice to me. Going from one paradiddle to another double
another
paradiddle.
one,
Yeah. And rudiments are something that I love. I love so much doing rudiments and stuff.
You've been playing them since you were young.
Yeah, well, more now. So one of the cool things that we're doing at work right now for our members is we have a little rudiment challenge for
fun.
like Drumium members.
Yes.
Which the whole challenge is that people just need to film themselves just playing along to the 40 rudiments and stuff.
Oh, fine.
Yeah, and it's good fun.
Nice.
So I get to watch to review and watch everyone's videos and stuff.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Send some comments back and
Yeah.
help them improve and stuff. That's
It's
beautiful.
pretty cool.
So that's rewarding of your job, eh? Very nice.
Oh yeah, that's
Huge
it's
rewards.
being able to connect with people and them to tell you what drumming and what music means to them. It's super cool.
It is,
and just
yeah.
be able to have like such a positive impact on people's lives with something that started as a little hobby or a little passion that eventually became my career, but be able to like help and support people that might be going through like something shitty through drumming and be there and support them. It's pretty cool. It's pretty special.
Right. So if somebody's getting frustrated at drums, what single piece of advice can you give somebody to kind of keep trucking and not give up?
Slow it down.
Slow it down.
Always slow it down. Slow it right down.
It's not a
Hit
race.
the brake.
Right.
It's not a race.
Yeah. Quality over quantity, as they say, I think, in some
and you know what?
situations.
We drummers, and we're all guilty of this, we all try to run before we can walk.
Yeah, that's true. You know.
We all try to play as fast as we can the first time we ever sat on a drum kit.
That's right. Yeah, you're not wrong there for sure.
100%. Then you realize you're like, wait a minute, I got to really scale it back and learn, like you said, you got to know the meter, you got to learn control.
Yep.
Right? And then you enhance the speed as you...
Yeah, speed just comes.
In time.
You know, it comes with time.
Yes.
The better that you develop your technique, the better technique, the faster your technique is going to allow you to play.
That's just it.
Someone like Elis DePario, he's the best example of someone that through technique is able to play faster than anyone else.
Anyone else. Yeah, that guy's insane.
That guy's an animal. It just, I'm a total fan of his, and I watch most of his videos, and the guy's
he's
just
incredible.
so creative.
Yeah.
That's what I love about him.
Yeah.
Anyways, Ali, tell us what you got going on right now with your music, touring, anything you got drum related. What
Share
do you got
some
coming
music
out
with us today.
Yeah, share some music with us.
Yeah, so let's see. With the Creepshow, last week or a couple of weeks ago, we playing some shows with the Flatliners,
fun.
supporting the Flatliners in London and Hamilton.
Oh, great.
And the Anti-Queens were also on the bill, so that was like a cool little reunion. Just
Yeah.
because we took him to Europe with us a few years ago, and it was cool to like play shows together again.
Nice.
That was
Nice
a lot
and
of fun.
Everyone getting together. And,
Yeah,
that's
it was
awesome.
the best. And then in the summer, I'm heading out. I think on July 6th, I'm heading out to Europe with MakeWar. We're playing 30-something shows over there. We're going to be playing some shows with Gob, for instance.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Gob's never been to Europe, so it's going to be nice
First
to...
time in Europe for them, eh?
Yeah.
Great band. Great
Great
band.
band, great guys.
So much fun.
We're going to play some shows with them, with Authority Zero, with the Anti-Queens as well in Europe.
good.
So that's gonna be the summer for me. Then MakeWar is also going back to Europe in October. We're part of a tour called the Common Thread Tour, which is gonna take place in between a few cities of mainland Europe and the UK.
Nice.
Bands like Hot Water Music are in it, Combat Kids in it,
Okay.
Strike Anywhere, Modern Days War, like some really cool,
Yeah, some good bands.
some good bands.
Sounds like a great time.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what the year's gonna keep. But we got a few shows with the Creepshow here and there too.
Nice. You got new material out?
We will soon. We will soon. Yeah, I tracked my drums a few years ago already, and yeah, we're sort of like putting the pieces together to have that out. Because the Creepshow, we haven't released music in a little bit, and it's time.
Okay.
So we're working on getting that out.
Nice. Now, if
Look
you could,
forward to hearing it.
yeah, I do.
Been stuck in this place, a place that used to feel special so much more. Can't figure out why I don't love you anymore. We're not in sync like before. I keep on giving
Absolutely. If you could share something with us today, what would you share with us?
What would I share with you today? Oh, I would say that that the guy that you had here a couple weeks ago, Tommy, in my opinion, he's one of the best drummers in Ontario.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We got a soft spot for Tommy. He's a great guy.
Great guy.
Absolutely amazing dude, right?
Great. He had a blast
Yeah.
in here, and it was great chatting with him,
Yeah, cool. Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us today, Alejandro.
Of course,
It really
thank
means
you
a
for
lot
having
to
me.
us. And we just only wish you on your journey and hope for the best for you. Yeah, coming up for all these new tours and everything that's coming up.
Oh, thanks, guys.
gonna be a
And
great
again,
time.
thanks for having me, and hope that the podcast just keeps going bigger and bigger and bigger. Because
Respect,
yeah,
we appreciate that.
we're the drummers. It's the community of drummers is a really nice community to be a part of. Everyone's so nice. Everyone's so empathetic. Everyone's so supportive. And
Agreed.
we need more drummers.
Yeah, we do. We definitely need more drummers, right?
sure.
Grow the community.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
And if anyone is interested in checking out more of Ali's bands, please visit his social media links. They're going to be mentioned below. Click that like, click that subscribe, and check them out.
Absolutely. And until next time, everybody.
Keep grooving and have fun.
And remember to hit that subscribe button, the notification bell, and subscribe.
That's it.
That's it. Join us
See you next time.
in paradise.
Wall.